Hey guys! How's everybody doing today? I hope you're all doing fantastic and becoming a bit greater every single day. Thanks for being here, listening. Thanks for downloading this podcast. Thanks for sharing and retweeting the podcast. You are all great, so thank you. Today I wanted to talk about what makes things, products, content, whatever, great. Not like a 5-step process in creating greatness, no, not that. So, not how the thing is great, but instead, why it's great. Also, how great things will almost never be made for everyone or apply to every demographic. Things that are great are not created or designed to appeal to everyone. Things that may be great to you may not be considered great by somebody else. Things that are great and have been designed for everyone tend to be like generalized and bland, void of color and excitement. Everyone is different in what they like, what's fun to them, and what makes them happy. How could you possibly design something that fits into all of these highly individualized people's wants and needs? You can't really, for the most part. And the stuff that is great and made for everyone are like things like safety guards for toilet seats. They serve their purpose, but they aren't very exciting. Most aren't geeking out over stuff like that. Hey bro, you see those toilet covers in the bathroom? Shit's lit, dude. Other items would probably include toothbrushes, toilet paper, Kleenex. These things are valuable and necessary in our daily lives and have been designed to do what they are, to do what they do great. And for the most part, people aren't actively assaulting social media with comments and tweets about how much they despise medium hardness toothbrushes. But if we're talking about truly great things or people, then we're probably measuring them on some level of achievement. Things don't become great by sitting there and not doing anything. Anyway, this thought was brought on by all the recent video game shaming taking place in the gaming sphere. Yo, come on, game sphere! Comment if you remember that reference. Everywhere on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, just a bunch of people that are either Team Destiny or Team Division or Team Anthem or Team whatever. Sure, these are similar games in the fact that they are all looter shooters, but that's where the similarities stop. Instead of these games just existing in the space with the people who enjoy it playing it, and the people who prefer to play something else are playing that something else. Instead, we have a toxic environment where the hardcore Destiny player is smearing the Division or the Division player spewing hate on Anthem. Listen guys, just like many things in our lives, you don't have to do it. You don't have to play the game. I understand disappointment, but come on. If you despise a game that others seem to be enjoying, I hate to burst your bubble, but the game was likely not made for you. It wasn't created for you, and that's okay. Games are so much more complex than they were in the past, and people's expectations have never been higher. The problem is mainly people being hypercritical about games and products that weren't made for them. Assuming every game was created for my needs and my wants and my expectations is just ignorant. How can a game be great if it was made for everyone? It would have to be something like Ass Wiping Simulator 2019. Destiny 2 Vanilla tried to make the game appeal to more casual player base. The result was something that was a bit too casual even for the casual players, and the game got stale quick. They then started tweaking the game and making changes to appeal to the more hardcore players, but a year after release, it had already lost a huge chunk of its fan base. I mean, the changes they've made have definitely improved the game, and the game is far better than it was when it came out. But still, we've said this before, that we have a limited amount of time. If something provides you with more value than what you are currently getting out of whatever you're playing, you go to that thing that's providing more value. Games are battling for our time like everything else. If you're at a job that's paying you crap and you hate that job, and then another job comes along offering you way more money and a possible better work scenario, you're gonna take the job. When it comes to games, you could probably try to think of the most mundane and weird stuff, and people would still play it anyways. Hey Bill, you picking up that Sweep and Dirt Sim 2020 at that midnight release over there at GameStop? No, Ted, I'm not picking up that game. Like flight sims or farming simulators, to me this is the most boring thing in the whole world. I love that others love it. You got a great game that was made for you. What you don't see me doing is heading out onto social media and bashing those games. Why does it matter at all what I think about a game that you enjoy? We gotta be happier for people and what they enjoy. That's all I'm saying. Don't get me wrong, I was that guy a lot in the past. I know I've talked about it before. I still struggle with some judgment from time to time. Sometimes that stuff is just so hardwired, it takes a long time to replace that habit. So when I catch myself doing it, I like to think things through a bit more, you know? Seriously, if it's not hurting anybody, we just gotta let it go. Not just material items and video games have greatness issues. People are commonly referred to as great. People can become great at something, people can do great things or provide great value. They can also be negatively or positively great. Greatness is not necessarily a descriptor of a positive individual. It also takes into account whose eyes they are being viewed from, their perceptions and values. Think about pro wrestling like the WWE. There are, quote unquote, good characters and bad characters. You gotta have that antagonist and that protagonist, or there would be nothing to fight about, and that would be a boring show. But some people take the side of the seemingly bad character, and others prefer the hero type. Both are great in their own right. It's like Ollivander says in the Harry Potter series. He was speaking of how Lord Voldemort did great things. Terrible, but great. So greatness can be something terrible or noble and just. It is what it is. Situational, I guess. I mean, if you're rubbing someone the wrong way, there's a pretty good chance you're doing something great. Probably because you're taking a stand with your views, your passions, your politics. Whether you are taking a stand for what you think is right and just, there will always be others who despise your stance and will probably actively call you out, but that's polarity. Polarity is what people like the president have, or the Kardashians, or the Jenners, or whoever the hell is way too popular at this given time. There are people that you either love or you hate. Not much of a center ground on this stuff because of how extreme they position themselves. But that's what makes them great and influential. For good or for bad, they have that power due to polarity. Seriously though, could you imagine what the world would be like if everything and everyone was designed to fulfill the needs and wants of everyone? That world would be so gray and so boring. Have you guys looking like District 13? No one would take chances with designs or colors or ideas. We would be living in a 4-wall box and driving a milk carton with wheels. It's the weird ones, or the crazy ideas, or extreme viewpoints that make the world a bit more colorful, more entertaining, and more alive. Think about the greatest people you can think of. Those people will still have people that absolutely despise them. We have to remember to please the people who want to listen to you and follow you. And stop trying to please those who will hate you regardless. Screw them! Being great while pleasing everyone doesn't happen. If you were to succeed with pleasing everyone and being great, then you're a Kleenex or a toothbrush. You're bland, you're mediocre, you stand for nothing. We have to be willing to take a side, do things weird, different, bold, and extraordinary with our lives. Just think about all the things that we consume on a daily basis that technically has a pretty small niche, but still manages to invoke demand. How about food? Seriously, how niche or niche is your favorite food? Think about it. Like, take a taco for instance, because lots of people enjoy them. Pretty much everyone you know, right? The main ingredients are beef, cheese, spicy seasonings, maybe some jalapenos, flour tortilla, tomatoes, sour cream, and beans if you want that little extra. That food is just, that food I just named cannot be eaten by a vegan, a vegetarian, someone who is lactose intolerant, someone who is sensitive to gluten, someone that cannot eat spicy foods, someone that cannot eat acidic foods. That taco is niche as hell. What else? Cars. Think about dudes fighting over Chevy, Ford, and Dodge trucks. These arguments get crazy heated. It's nuts. How about SUVs versus minivans, electric cars, sports cars? These different vehicles were designed for very different and specific consumers. What about cell phones? iOS versus Android and phones. People, that one gets fought about a lot. Another heated one would be PCs versus Macs. So many arguments on that front, some which I have been a part of. Anyways, we could go on and on with these examples, but all I am saying is that maybe next time we get salty about a product not meeting our expectations, let's first be sure it was even designed for us. If there is art or a movie or some music that rubs us the wrong way, it's likely just the artist pushing the limits of that design, the design of those things, and that limit pushing didn't appeal to you, but will likely appeal to somebody else. So let's be loud and bold, come up with new and exciting ideas, and if someone doesn't like it, who cares? Someone else will. And that's where we want to place our focus. So let's drop into the LWR and see if anything great happened last week. So last week I brainstormed, I took notes, outlined, and scripted 3 podcasts. So 3 weeks worth of this podcast content is now done. So all I really got to do is record it, and the recording part is the easiest part of the whole podcast process. So with the batching like we talked about last week, I crushed it, man. So we got 3 done this week, and I plan on getting another 2 to 3 done this week, so I end up being about 5 weeks ahead come next Friday. It's awesome. I also got some artwork done for Ronald Joseph Design for Instagram and Facebook, and I'm starting to put some pieces together, and I'm starting to come up with some ideas, hopefully with some video for Ronald Joseph Design, taking some of these thoughts and stuff that I have on the It's Like Wig Nasty podcast and moving some over there, just so that, I've got content going in multiple places. The It's Like Wig Nasty thing isn't going to be a lifelong thing, but I like the name for the podcast. It's catchy, people will remember it, so I like to, and that's still who I am on that aspect of things with video games and entertainment and that kind of stuff. It's Thug Wig Nasty. It's been my name for a long time. But the Ronald Joseph Design, that's where I want it to be more professional and stuff like that. So over there, I'm getting some artwork done for that, and I'm gonna start planning some posts and stuff for that. I also want to start doing more video work again, so get that camera back out and start practicing. I want to take more pictures and I want to record more video. Like, it's not like I want to be like a YouTuber or something like that, but I love recording video. Like, every time I do it, I just have so much fun. Maybe it's just because I'm just watching myself talk, maybe it's just that. No, seriously. Like, anytime I see like these epic videos of people like just doing these crazy camera positions and all that stuff, I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. It's going to be so much fun. So anyways, still sticking to working on my art, still sticking to that kind of stuff, and want to get more video work done, more practice for sure. I want to really level up myself, really work on my skills, and, work into this craft. I'm still trying to find exactly the kind of message that I want to convey, exactly the kind of person I want to be. So it is what it is. But a thing that's going to help that, and we'll probably talk about it in some other episodes once I get used to it or trying it or seeing how it works for me, but I did pick up a new journal this week. I have other drawing notebooks and stuff in the past, but I picked up a legitimate journal, and I want to start journaling every single day. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to put in it yet. I've got some ideas, but once I get that stuff through, I will let you guys know. But yeah, that was pretty much it. That's pretty much the plans for next week. Plan on doing some more art, getting some videos recorded, maybe getting multiple podcasts recorded right now. After I'm done with this one, I might go ahead and just start the next one. Again, like I said, the only thing I can't record is this section, the LWR, because next week hasn't happened yet. But I can record the beginning part, so I might just do that. So yeah, I appreciate you guys again listening to this every week. checking it out on Monday, letting me know your thoughts, comments, sharing this stuff. It kills me, man. Like, I love it. Like, it kills me in a good way. You guys are killing it. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you're having a fantastic day and continue to have a great day and a great week until we talk again next Monday. But again, for now, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at It's Ludwig Nasty, and also be sure to follow Ronald Joseph Design on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Twitter. And you'll start to see some things changing on those platforms. But again, love you guys. I will catch you next Monday.